Where are you from?
Jersey.
Yeah. Oh, I used to live in Summit.
Okay.
I did about 3.5 years.
Like it?
Oh, I love Summit. It's nice.
Like it here?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm retired. I've been down here 18 years.
Nice.
I got to work with Lee County part-time.
Okay. Nice.
So it's fun.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I'm kind of like it here too. I mean, second year down here, I'm kind of like looking around now.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about moving down this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Not to my mom's. Mom's 80s is still around, so not until something happens in that situation. But
Yeah.
I gotta start looking sometime.
What I liked about Summit was I was a big basketball fan. My son played for Pitt, and I used to go to Madison Square Gardens.
Who's your son?
Bill Schmidt.
I'm a Seton Hall graduate.
Who?
Seton Hall graduate.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Back then they were in Big East.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like a walk-on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was there when oh God, what was the name? When Sean Miller
Okay.
was playing.
Yes.
Yeah. They had him on the practice squad. Then he played baseball for Bobby Lewis too. All my kids went to Pitt. My daughter cheered for Pitt for 4 years.
Nice.
Football and basketball. But I loved Big East basketball back then. And when I lived in Jersey, I could take the train right into the base of Madison Square Garden, walk right up.
Yep.
That was fun.
I missed. Thursday was the media day. I missed it.
Oh yeah.
I covered the team, so
Yeah.
I have a sports business. So my guys were there, but the first year I had to miss in the last 6-7 years.
Pitt was good back then.
Yeah.
I mean, they were. Yeah, Charles. They had, they had some good players. I'm trying to think. Jerome Lane, when he crashed the backboard. He was the first player that said. I remember that in the headlines in the paper the next day it said. Lane shatters Providence. I still have a piece of that backboard.
Oh yeah.
Jerry McCullough, Rod Brooken, Charles Smith. They were good. Montego Cummings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, you got me thinking about names I haven't thought of in ages. What do you hear?
I'm broadcasting. Yeah, that's my camera set up.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. For whom?
For the tournament.
Yeah. Well, who do you work for?
I have my own company.
Oh, sweet. That's cool.
Well, grow by little, getting bigger and bigger every year.
Good deal.
Yeah, but all the equipment I drive down. So I'm afraid to fly, and they say, "Oh, you can't take this, can't take that."
Oh, I know.
But I don't mind to drive. This is my second year doing it. So last year was like. Now this year I took my time.
20 hours. Yeah, 10 to 10. Stay over like in Charleston.
I stayed Savannah.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't have to be back at work until Thursday. I might take a beach stay somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look tonight or tomorrow night just where I can stop, relax all day, and then be home by Wednesday.
Where do they broadcast this?
This is right now. It's on my website and it's on their Facebook pages.
Okay. Yeah. You have to get me a card.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll check it out on the website. They finished up back there. I can go
Yeah, they're done there. They're done there now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think they use it tomorrow. I could be wrong
They
though.
play tomorrow.
Oh, but yeah, I'm not sure they use
I
both.
don't know if they play on the back court.
Now we're getting towards all the finals.
Yeah. Don't they have a Canadian team there?
Yeah.
They used to anyway.
And then who's not here from last year is the Australian team.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's very expensive,
Yeah.
and I guess they do every other year they come up. It should be bigger. I mean, the sport itself should be bigger. There's a lot of aspects that an American sports fan would like about it if they ever got to know this existed.
Well, that's true because when I was found out I had to work down here this week, I said, "What?" He said, "Netball." What the hell is netball?
I
But
mean,
it's kind of cool.
if you look at the game, you have the big guys by the rim on either side, either scoring or protecting the rim. And you got like the football players. You got like your safeties and quarterbacks running the ball down to the big guys.
Yeah.
And then it was pretty funny. It only happened twice so far. Once this year, once last year. They got a little skirmish. They're put in the penalty box. Hockey. So you got baseball. Everything except baseball, really.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I was watching them play.
Yeah, last year we were here. I remember I had to be work till back to work till Wednesday or something. But yeah, that hurricane was in the Gulf.
Oh yeah.
Well, Michael, I think it was. So I got home. I know it wasn't really hitting here, but I just
Was
wanted to
this
get out of the
last
area.
year?
Last year. Don't want to hit the Panhandle pretty hard. Is that Michael?
I think it was. Yeah.
But I know I didn't
Wasn't
know.
bad here.
Wasn't bad here, but I don't know. I want to get the hell out of the area.
Yeah.
Hit the Panhandle pretty hard.
Yeah. I'm gonna go mop up that floor.
Enjoy. Nice talking to you. Thanks. Yeah. Gary.
So, welcome to the final match of the Netball Royal Mail Netball Championship at the Estéreo Gymnasium, and the first whistle is blown. Today's umpire, Sylvester Campbell and Dalton Hines. So it's the defending champion, Royal Mail Strikers and Navigators. We saw Navigators in an earlier match playing Tennessee Wildcats, and they outscored them to win that match. So it's now the two teams that are on top trying to make a placement and bragging rights in this last and final match. So contact there on the wing attack from the Royal Mail Strikers team, Caswell. That ball was flung into the hands of Vicente O'Neill. Excellent shot there by Nice as usual, the goal shooter of the Royal Mail Strikers. So it's 1-1 after just a minute of play. Navigators in possession of the ball with wing attack to the goal shooter. Goal shooter resets that ball to the wing defense. An obstruction there called from the center. Excellent drive there from Arton, and an excellent split from the goal shooter Delroy. I'm Sherman, and joining me is
Jack from Florida Jets.
So Jack, who are you calling for this match?
It's a hard one to say. I think World Mail have it in their control, but I think one thing we've seen a lot of in this tournament is errors, lots of errors, unforced. And so I think ultimately it will come down to whichever team can control the game better and stick to their task, because, as you said, both teams have won every game so far playing their way. Whichever one falls into the other team's game plan and tries to play like them will inevitably come unstuck. So be interesting to see. What do you think?
Well, as you said, it's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm tipping Royal Mail Strikers to win this one, because Royal Mail Strikers, they're very hungry. They're very ball discerning. They don't, as you could see a while ago, they chase after every ball. So wing defense there being called over by umpire Dalton Hines, and he's probably getting a caution for decent play. So let us see what happened. Last year, if you remember, Jack, he was sent off for 2 minutes in a similar fashion.
Yeah, I think the big thing for the umpires is trying to keep a control of the game, and so I think there's a few quite physical contacts happened already from the wing defence in the first 2.5 minutes. So he's just trying to make it clear to him and the rest of the players. Probably making a bit of an example of him. Nothing he did was too dangerous, but a bit unnecessary.
Totally agree with you.
So just making an example that
So,
that's not what they're going to accept.
yes. So inside the circle of the one-man striker shooting circle, it's very physical, and you know the defenders are trying real hard to keep them outside the circle. But let us see what's happened. Wing attack to goal shooter, back to wing attack. A fancy play there. Obstruct contact there being called.
That's the goalkeeper.
From the goalkeeper, and the goal attack takes a shot and he shoots.
Very nice shot.
And just to let you know that Dane, the starting shooter is on the bench again. He's still nursing an injury that he suffered this morning. So that's going to be a disadvantage for him, but maybe they're saving him for the finals. What do you think?
I think potentially, you've seen him play a bit of goal shooter, a bit of goalkeeper. I think, like you say, they're probably going to save him for the finals, where maybe it's worth the risk. But for now, yes, they want to win. Yes, they get a favourable semi-final, but whichever one they play, Wildcats or Elbasan in the semis, it's both are good teams, both are hard games, so it doesn't matter that much.
So the important thing is that they're both at the finals. So it doesn't matter which team they play, because they would have beaten those teams before. So it's just for them to make a good representation.
And if they do meet again in the final, like you said, the momentum is important, so they will both be looking to win. But yeah, someone like Dane, I think he had maybe an injury coming into the tournament, and then he took a tumble in a game earlier against Jets actually, and I don't think he's quite recovered yet. So maybe a night of rest and he'll feel ready to play again. But
so some strong defensive pressure being applied to the shooting circle of navigators, but the goal shooter did not yield to that, as he was able to score that ball successfully. So Kurt there and the centre just trying to get the defender off. He was successful in doing so, and he shoots and scores. The score now reads 6-4 in favour of Royal Mail Strikers.
it's a key point now, because they're only 5 minutes in, it's only 2 goals, but if World Mail turn over a centre, one of their centres, then it will come back to 6-all. If Navigators turn theirs over, it can be 8-4, so both teams will be conscious of that. I think the important thing for them will just be keep calm. They don't actually need to rush, and they don't need to try and... I think that's a good call from the umpire.
Yes, because both of them went for the ball, so it's just that he fell. Goal shooter there being spoken to by the umpire, Dalton Hines. Ball coming upstream by the attacking net of the Navigators team. The wing attack seems a little bit frustrated, just trying to find somebody to make that pass to. So penalty there from the shooter. Excellent dodge there from the goal shooter. It was excellent, very pretty. He always shows some excellent ball force on court. So as you mentioned earlier, one turnover and they're back in the game. So the score is leveled 6 apiece. So the centre there from Royal Mail Strikers, O'Neill, he needs to tidy up his play, because I'm sure the umpire will probably...
There's a tip on the shot from the goalkeeper there.
Yes, excellent tip there.
Very nice marking. Yeah, I think the battle between the two centres is going to be very important. I think, I'm not quite sure your opponent, I think Duran, who plays centre for Navigators, and O'Neill for World Mail. I know from personal experience, Duran is a very physical player.
He
likes to get in
is.
your face.
Yes.
A bit of intimidation, maybe.
Yes. He's very physical and he's very feisty with it.
Yes, and O'Neill is a lot of the time a very relaxed character, lots of laughing, but he can also, he gets into that game. He doesn't shy away from it. So, and now we see one turnover from that tip from Kareem, the goalkeeper, and we're back to 8-6,
yes, and back
2
to
goals.
8-6 for the Royal Mail Striker team. So a penalty there taken. Navigators just finding it hard to get the ball inside the shooting circle. The defensive unit of Kareem and Artan is just proving really difficult.
I think Kareem has got fantastic footwork. It's very hard for you to predict where he's going to move. He can move very quickly. and Arton's elevation is just
Yes,
exceptional.
very, very.
As soon as you hang that ball in the air for more than a second around the circle edge, he can take it from anywhere.
And they both know that once they allow the goal shooter to get a little bit as close as possible to that goal circle, he's going to take the shot because he's very accurate.
He is, absolutely. I think what you're saying about the shooter, his name's Delroy, and his moves. I think actually when he was commentating on the game with me earlier, and he showed he has very good understanding of the game. I think he's coached maybe, and so you definitely see that in his play. He doesn't involve himself.
So some miscommunication there, and we spoke about that sort of physicality from the center, Duran, from Navigators, and we can see that where he swung his elbow just now into the center
And
for the Royal Mail
it can be
strikers.
dangerous. So,
Yes.
But that is something that the
It
umpires
really
just
needs to
said
tidy
Dalton
up.
had a conversation with the
Yes.
wing defence, and I think it's getting to the point where a conversation needs to be had between the two centres because we don't, we want a physical game, we want a hard game, but we just want people to be safe. So for
That's
both
the
of
most
them,
important thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have to play the game fun, but we have to play it safely as well.
Yes.
So a penalty there from the goal defense from the Royal Mail striker team. Shot taken by Delroy. And I just love his shooting powers.
Yeah, very
I
nice.
emulate him so
Never
much.
fazed by anything,
Yes.
is he?
And he remains so calm. Oh!
It's a silly pass from the wing attack.
Excellent take there from the goalkeeper. As you spoke earlier about his footwork, you don't know which direction he's moving into. And even though Delroy was on the back and he was dodging, he still picked it up. He still picked it up, and I was able to intercept that ball. That was magnificent.
And I think what we might have seen there is in the last phase of play, the Navigators' wing attack went offside when they'd just got a turnover. So I think maybe it was just a small case of just trying too hard to recover from the error, and deciding that because he'd cost the team the ball last time, he wanted to overcompensate for it. But he'll calm and he'll make up for it going forward.
So that goal by Kurt made it make it 9-8 in favor of Royal Mail Strikers, but an error there from the centre. From
15
O'Neill
seconds.
with 13 seconds to go, and they are trying to make a hustle.
No. Oh, he's kept. Oh, that's unlucky. Over a third.
Yes,
They had
very
one foot in
unlucky.
each.
We can hear in the stands the supporters are not very in agreement with that because they think that was an obstruction,
Yeah.
and they wanted the obstruction to call because even if the whistle is blown and the obstruction is called, then the shot has to be taken just the same. So we could hear the supporters in the back just trying to disapprove of what the umpire just did. But so far, after 10 minutes of play, it's 9-8, an interesting game so far. Very physical, very fast. It's a fast-paced game. But both teams are pretty much in the game, just the same.
And it's Navigator's first centre pass when we come back for the second half as well. For the second quarter, sorry. So if they score that, we're back to level, and then we just go goal for goal from there. So again, as we said, it will just come down to the errors, and I think I'd be interested to say what do you think the two benches may be saying to each other or to their teams at the moment? What do you think the key things are?
Well, let me say that especially for the for the Royal Mail Strikers bench, one of the things I noticed in the circle just now was miscommunication from the two shooters, where both of them went up for that ball, and it just didn't work out for them. And the defending unit from the Navigators bench from the Navigators team were able to just pick that up and brought it down court. So that's one thing I think they should be talking about, and also from the Navigators bench, probably just speaking to the center, I hope, just to keep it tidy and clean, so that he's not Warner even taken off court.
Yeah,
What do you
absolutely.
think?
I agree. I think the big thing for them both will be capitalise on the good things they've done. Because when it's worked perfectly for them both. They've moved the ball down quickly, sharply, and the defence haven't touched it. But like we said at the start, the errors can just creep in, and that's what will cost them. I think for both of them, it will just be about their morale and their mentality. Because you see, with both these teams, we've seen it in the tournament already. If things go well, they can create lots of hype, and there's lots of people in the stands here supporting both teams, so they get lots of positives. But actually, when things start to go wrong, they can sort of implode and turn on each other, and nothing will cost them quicker than doing that. So they need to be aware of how they're supporting one another, and even if it's not going perfectly, just keep the morale high.
So, the game back in play. Just the goal shooter just trying to make some quick moves right there. Didn't work out for him. World strikers.
Ooh,
Good
that's
work there
unlucky.
from the goal defense.
Yeah, that's
Damien. However, he's caught out of play in the mid-court. So that now creates a 2-on-1 situation inside the circle, but they didn't use that advantage. Excellent long pass inside the circle, and they contact their call on the goal defense. And the excellent shot there by Kurt, the goal attack from the World Strikers team.
And that shooting circle for World Mail is so important, because you have that mixture of what you see there with the incredible elevation of Nias, the shooter, and then Kurt often just drifts in, often cuts across the top of the circle, and his shooting from range is fantastic. But I think
Kurt,
it's
Nias' elevation inside the circle is just impeccable. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, excellent pass there from the goal attack,
Very
just to
good.
try to confuse the
Hands.
defenders a little bit, right? But they're having a difficult time just trying to get the ball inside the shooting circle, but they're working overtime nonetheless to get the ball. So it's a 2-on-1 situation inside the circle. Lovely pass there inside the shooting circle.
Yeah, nice.
The shooter there looks really phenomenal. Kareem end up contacting on the landing, and now it seems as if both players are out of play, yes, and the goal shooter shoots. So Navigators are finding it very difficult to get the ball inside the shooting circle. They have to be making double plays.
And I think the important thing, great turnover from the goal defence there. Saw that the big ball was coming in, they doubled up on him, defence and keeper, and on that occasion it was really effective. I think the key thing for Navigators actually is, yes, it's taken them some time, but that's okay as long as they keep their hands on the ball. Because actually, as long as they've got their hands on it, World Mail aren't going to be scoring. So having the ball in their hands is not a bad thing, even if they don't feel like they're moving forward that quickly. They can afford to take their time with it. But at the moment, I think there's an element of they are taking their time and just forcing it slightly. That's a good
Excellent
split.
split there.
Oh,
from the goal attack. Good
Well
roll off there
done,
from the
yeah.
goalkeeper.
Good
Just
hands,
yes,
good hands on the floor.
Fabulous hands. I just can't stop talking about that elevation from Nias, the goal shooter from the World Strikers team. But
Good play.
he was a little bit hesitant in taking that shot.
He was.
But he did, and he scored. So the score is now level. Oh, well, it's not level. It's now 11-10 in favor of World Strikers. Navigators in possession of the ball after 7 minutes of play.
A bit of a
I think
dramatic.
the goal defense draw that
Yeah.
that contact, because I am
Absolutely.
sure the goal attack didn't do that.
It's a competition.
Yes, it
They're
is.
contesting for the ball. I think
Just
the goal defense
trying to play smart to get whatever.
And it worked. It
Yes,
worked
it
on this
did.
occasion.
So great shot there from Kurt. Now 12-10 after 6.5 minutes of play. World Strikers in possession of the ball. Wing defense to wing attack. Swing that ball into Nias, who just leaped and collected that ball. Miscommunication there, and the goalkeeper blocked him out. And it seems as if he is injured. He's holding his face.
I think he's okay.
Well, I hope he is. But dramatic split there from the goal shooter of Navigators, and that one creeps inside. It's now 13-11. The goal shooter
looks-
still holding his face.
Oh, the goal shooter's coming off.
Yes.
Oh no, maybe not.
I hope he's not. There's no blood.
If there is, he'll have to come off the court.
Well, he's walking to the sideline.
And World Mail need to be careful here because they're.
I don't think they realize that their goal shooter is down.
Yeah, because they're trying to change their wing defence. But if they do that,
So
and then they change the goal shooter.
So the umpire is speaking to him because the
There's some water on the court.
yes, the somebody from the bench tried to give him some cold water,
Yeah,
and
it's just spilt.
yeah, get the court spilled. So
I'm very quiet in here. I think people supporting World Mail are a bit concerned about the safety of the shooter because they're
and just
worried.
the safety of the players overall,
Yeah.
because that water can get. So it seems as if his mouth is.
I think he's trying to spit out some blood,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
So he seems to be okay.
Yeah, I think he's
He's
taking a
still-
knock, but he's
yeah.
staying on.
Still rubbing his face a little bit there, but I hope it doesn't affect his game.
It's worth saying that the incident, they the keeper intentionally stood in his way. He didn't do anything against the rules, and he definitely didn't intentionally try and hurt him. It was unfortunate, unfortunate coming together, a clash.
So, center pass taken by O'Neal. I love his swing inside the circle. He's looking to pass it back off to the goal attack.
That's unlucky from
Yeah,
Navigators because they
very
weren't
unlucky.
getting there.
The goal shooter wasn't ready for that pass.
It was a miscommunication, I think.
Yes, but they're still in possession of that ball.
And I think to be fair to the goal shooter, the goal attack probably should have shot from there. He's capable of.
Yes, because he's a distance range shooter, so he does have the capability of shooting from that range. So excellent elevation there from the goal shooter, and he shoots. So just over 4 minutes of play left, and the score is 15-11. Royal Mail Strikers just taking their time. Excellent insight on there from Kareem, unable to get an interception. And he begged that one to go inside.
It's a good shot.
Some fumble mumble there on the court, but Royal Mail Strikers were able to maintain that ball in their possession. Great swing there.
There seems to be a bit of a lack of confidence. Oh, that's unlucky. A bit of a lack of confidence among the World Mail shooters.
Because they keep passing the ball shooter to shooter. I guess because the goal shooter is a little bit more accurate in his shooting. I don't know. But yeah, a long hold there from the Navigator Center, just trying to find somebody to come in front. Good strong there from the goal shooter. Penalty there from the center from the Royal Mail Strikers team, and there seemed to be a little bit of tussle there between both centers.
A bit of a conversation afterwards as well.
Yes. Doesn't seem to be anything personal, but
I think it will continue. In my experience, what goes on the court generally stays on the court. So
lovely elevation there from the goal defense, but unable to keep that deflection. So Royal Mail Strikers still in possession of that ball. Kurt make shots and he scores.
17-13 now, so it's 4 goals still. I think there's been an element in this quarter that both teams are trying hard not to make mistakes, which is maybe limiting the expansion and the ambition in the play. See now everyone getting a bit excited.
So a little bit of physicality and tussle on the court. However, none of that was observed by the umpire except an outside call. So what I like about Dalton is that he allows the player to have a little fair contest at the ball without interfering too much. So I think that's what happened just now. But Orton was not really pleased with that. But it worked out in his favor. So the shooting circle, the goalkeeper there just not
Caught
contesting the
underneath him,
ball.
didn't he? Yeah.
It's what we call bridging.
It can
Very
be dangerous.
dangerous play, yes.
Yeah.
So Royal Mail Striker Center So a delay pass there, delay center. So some level of indiscipline there from the Royal Mail Striker center. So he's having a conversation with the umpire. He knew what to do, but they didn't make use of it anyway. So the ball went down the court. The wing attack there from the Royal Mail Strikers team. David just playing really strong on top of the D with his both knees are strapped. So that should have been a step, but Go Shooter, they're unable to keep that ball inside the circle, on court rather. Goalkeeper Kareem made that long swing across the court.
Good catch from Kerr.
Yes.
Oh. Very
Instruction
nice.
there.
Very nice.
Yes. So as I said to you before, under a minute to go, under 30 seconds to go, it's 2013, a 7-point goal lead. Excellent elevation there by the goal shooter, and he shoots another one. His netball prowess is just magnificent. Navigators unable to score a goal as yet. Let us see if they'll be able to finish.
We've got 11 seconds. And the umpire hasn't seen the time, neither have they.
Excellent take there by the goal shooter, but unable to finish. That was an excellent take from the goal shooter, just not able to finish.
I think you may have seen it on camera here, a bit of descent from the centre, hurling the ball into the circle towards the goalkeeper in a dangerous manner, which I think the umpires may pick up on afterwards.
So we can see that the organizer and the manager for the Royal Mail Strikers team, Gary, just talking to the centre there, O'Neill, about his indiscipline on court, and it showed earlier because he was not yielding to the umpire's call, and just being defiant and just hitting that ball down on the court.
Yeah, and just to explain for those at home, there was a bit of confusion about whose centre pass it was. So the Navigator centre initially had the ball. Then the World Mail centre, O'Neill, came and took it. He said, World Mail ball, very audibly, I think in a way to tell the Navigator centre to leave it. But he walked, in the umpire's view, too slowly towards the ball, towards the centre circle. And so once he stepped in, the umpire called him for delaying, which you're basically not allowed to delay the centre pass. You want to keep the game flowing. And then after being called for that, O'Neill then proceeded to slam the ball into the floor because he was annoyed at the call. And you can see now on the bench, on the camera, you can probably just about see it. His team are just having a conversation with him, just trying to settle him down. And Gary, as you said, who's the team manager for World Mail and also the tournament organiser, is coming just to help try and settle things down.
But what do you think Navigators need to do to get back into this game?
I think for them, they need to focus on the playing rather than the physicality, because I think they're trying to draw World Mail into it, and it's worked and it's affecting their game. But actually now it's going to the point where Navigators are going too far with it. Not in a way that it's particularly dangerous, but just in that they're too busy focused on the contest and on the physical side of the game, that they're not able to concentrate on the netball aspect of it. So if they can do that a bit differently and focus on what they're good at, because World Mail really took it away from them in that quarter. They won by 7 and they're now 8 goals ahead overall. If they can just settle it down a little bit, then it will help them to kind of, I guess, get a hold back in the game. I think the big thing for them is to focus on, it's only 8 goals, it's 4 turnovers, it's easy, there's been loads of turnovers so far. So if they can just do that, then it can settle very quickly for them, and they'll find that score going up and up and up. But they just need to stay calm. They don't need to try and overplay, and actually, they're moving in the right direction. Or if they're moving in the right direction, they need to continue doing that. I think we're going to see some changes, which will be interesting because it will be on which team can adapt quicker to the game and to the changes. What do you think?
What I've noticed so far is that when a player allows the umpire to get to him, it sort of affects the momentum and the play on court. So, just try to ignore the umpires. The umpires call or final. There's nothing you can do about it. So just try not to get caught up in all of that, and just try to maintain the team, maintain the focus.
The shooter, but he does also play goalkeeper, and he's played goalkeeper today. He's now coming back on for another spell there.
So I'm assuming that because now the goal shooter there, who has some excellent elevation inside the circle, they're probably trying to reduce some of those high passes inside the circle.
Yeah.
But let us see if Dane will be able to be effective in executing or stopping some of those high lobs inside the circle.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say to the goalkeeper that's gone off, it's not the first time that a goalkeeper's been sent to the bench by Nias. He's a very effective player. He moves effectively, and if all else fails, the over-the-top ball with the big elevation always works. So I think it's on Dane now to adapt, because I don't think Dane can leap in the way that other goalkeepers maybe could. But he needs to find a way to make sure that Nias can't set up and put him where he wants him to then to jump for the ball. So a lot of the work will be done. Surprisingly, the World Mail Centre are nearly staying on the court. It looked to me from the...
So no changes were made for the World Mail Strikers team, only for the Navigators team, with Dane there going to goalkeeper. So some sort of... So some sort of dramatics there from the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal shooter did contact him, but
and that's a good start for the goalkeeper, because he got the tip over the top on the
Yes.
first ball.
Yes, he did.
Then the centre contacted the shooter, and then he managed to win that contact from him again. So a good start for him, and that's the kind of thing you need, just to get your head in the right space and hopefully disrupt the shooter's game.
Oh, this is an interesting thing to note. So the goal attack from Navigators, Omar Carr, and the goal defense from World Mail Strikers, they both play for the same local team in Jamaica.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, so they played for Conference Phoenix. So it's interesting to see that both of them now are playing against each other in this format. But I'm sure that they are not thinking about their local teammateship right now. The goal is to represent on the international stage. But
Ooh.
yeah, excellent rebound attempt there from the goal
Absolutely.
attack. He knew that he was going to be off.
Yeah.
He was a little bit hesitant to take the shot. He wanted to play the ball off, but the goal shooter wasn't ready right there, and therefore he take the shot. Went for the rebound, and the goal defense kind of pushed him outside, and he draw that contact. So that was a very smart play to try to draw that sort of contact. So that sort of elevation there inside the circle from Nice and Dane. They're doubling up the shooter. Good save there from the goal attack.
Very good.
Excellent feint pass again. Drawing a contact there from the wing defense. Causing contact there from the goalkeeper because he didn't make an attempt at the ball.
And that is something that I think the umpires will be keen to look at. Is, as you said earlier, sometimes it's called bridging. When the player is in the air, if you try and affect their landing space, it is a contact, and it can become very dangerous. Because if you get under someone and they tip over and land at an awkward angle on their head or on their neck, then obviously you don't need us to tell you the dangers that can happen there.
So, an advantage obstruction there from the goalkeeper, but that did not deter another physical play there from the center. He's very, very physical, and he contests everything, even if he's late. So he's out of play, and he's still trying to interfere with the play right there. So now the umpire is going to advance the ball, I'm sure. Yes, he did.
But the players stay where they were.
So great rebound there from the goalkeeper Dane. He tries to jump and block the shot, and Nice was not effectively in shooting that ball. But Navigators just finding it a little bit challenging to get the ball outside of the goal turn.
A very good effort from Worldman and just pushing them, getting behind them and pushing them up the court. Which is
Great
something that-
elevation there from Kareem.
Yes,
Just
again.
unable to just keep it
Again.
inside the circle. But great effort there by Kareem, the goalkeeper from the Warren Bay Strikers team. So backline pass taken by the Navigators team. Excellent play there. Good strong hands.
Good shot.
But did not stop the goal attack from playing. Also to let you know, the goal attack as well, the goal attack, the wing defense and the center from Warren Bay Strikers, they also play for Conference Phoenix along with the goal attack from Navigators. So they're all teammates back home on the local club. But as I said to you before, they're not paying attention to their teammate right now. They're just very strong there from goal shooter. He's going up with some sort of aggression and showing that the goalkeeper doesn't attack him.
And this is where Navigators have to be careful and manage the game. Oh, that is a bad call from the umpire.
Because he was in front. So a little smart comment there from the center.
I don't know what he said, but
all I heard was I didn't hear what the center from Navigator said, but I heard O'Neill's response was remember that you're down. So
okay.
yeah, so that kind of ripped the crowd up a little bit.
Right.
And the Navigators team finished with that shot. So
Oh dear.
they're now leading by 10 goals. At the end of the second quarter, it was 2 goals. Excellent elevation there by Orton. Navigator Warren Bay Strikers unable to keep that ball inside the circle. So I'm not sure what's happening. I don't know if
I think
it's
there was an out of court call that they didn't agree with.
yeah, they didn't agree with that call. So, excellent play there from the wing attack. Too far from the.
Oh, too far from the line.
Yeah, he was way too far.
And that's poor from the wing attack.
Yes.
You don't want to be affording to give away free
As a
balls
very
like that.
experienced player,
Yeah,
you know, that is something you don't want to be happening to you. There's
And I
some
think it's hard in this situation for the players and for the umpires in particular because everyone's getting drawn into the ball. It's getting very crowded on court, and there's a lot of noise coming from the stands. So the excitement levels are rising. And this is the time when you see cool heads on the court, and ultimately the team that has the coolest heads will be the ones that are able to affect the game most and build the league. 'Cause at the moment there's 10 goals. You'd think Navigators need to pull something back before the fourth quarter if they're gonna have a chance of winning the
I
game.
certainly believe they do.
And
They need to do something. There's a change on court. So Quinnell, who was at wing defense, has now taken the bench, and
Ooh.
Andre is now at wing defense.
We previously saw it goalkeeper. Oh, it's good hands from the goal defense.
It's sort of clumsy release there from the center, which
Good play from Worldman.
yes, he needs to be a little bit more quick and aggressive.
Oh,
with
okay.
So another change there from the.
So we see Quinnell now at the position we're more used to seeing him at. He's more, from what we've seen, he's more traditionally a centre, and he's
So
doing a very good job. He's done a very good job there.
A penalty there being called on the goal shooter, which causes them to lose that ball. So now Navigator's in position of the ball. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the thing with the Royal Mail Strikers team, especially with Orton. He goes for everything. He goes for everything.
And it's
So you have to
endless
be
energy.
careful in how you're placing that ball off. You have to have good body position just to try to just keep him from coming around to dig that ball off. So another change.
And that's Dalton. Dalton.
So a change. The change here is that Omroy is going to wing attack, and Duran, who was at center earlier, is now at goal attack. So let us see how they execute this play. Some dramatics there from the Royal Mail Striker Center. Miscommunication there, but they were able to keep it in, and they score. So shooter again. So the shooter needs to
Pushing off.
Yeah, the shooter needs to fix that up, and he's contesting the umpire's call. So he needs to tidy that up because he's going to goalkeeper there interfering with the pass from the goal attack.
And I think it's worth saying that the goalkeeper for Navigators, Dane, has definitely done what he was sent on to do. There's been lots of calls against the goal shooter, and he's won lots of ball from him, more than the previous goalkeeper Andre was. So they'll be happy with that change and how it's worked. I was just going to say on the substitutions, my understanding was that the new rule was that you're only allowed to make 2 per quarter. You have to use a ticket. But actually Navigators have now made 3 because they brought Andre on at wing defence, they brought Quinnell on at centre, and then they brought Duran on at goal attack. So maybe a bit of a discrepancy from the umpires, where they just didn't quite see what was happening.
Could be an oversight there from the umpires.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, oversight.
Yeah, so just 18 seconds. Incorrect taken there, the umpire call. So Royal Mail Strikers, just 7 seconds to go, and they're trying to get the ball down court. And
would have been very impressive if it had gone in.
It would have.
But it didn't.
So at the end of the first half, no, this is the third quarter. End of the third quarter.
Yeah, one more.
End of the third quarter, it's 28-19. Royal Mail Strikers leading by 9 goals. So the Royal Mail Strikers, they're just keeping that momentum. And there are a few unforced errors, especially in the shooting circle. The goal shooter being called a few times. Again, if you're seen on screen, the manager
just on the side of the screen.
Yes,
there.
the manager Gary is talking to the goal shooter, and the shooter seems to be disagreeing with whatever is going on.
Yeah, I think there's a few other players disagreeing with what's going on. Yeah.
But what do you think they will be talking about? Because the goalkeeper also seems to be in disagreement with the goal shooter. There seem to be some
I think the goal shooter has his reasons as to why he thinks that he's not getting the calls.
I am going to assume that he's failing to take the corrections.
Yeah, maybe suggesting that the umpire is at fault.
Yes,
I think the players are maybe trying to tell him how he can do better.
Right.
And I think there's sometimes when, if the game's not going your way, the corrections are what you need, but they're not necessarily what you want to hear at that moment. If you are, I guess, frustrated with yourself and the way you've played and the way the decisions are going, you don't want that. But ultimately, that's what your team are there for. That's what your coach is there for. And
so I'm seeing here that the goal shooter no longer is wearing his bib, but I am unable to see who is going to come on in that position. Maybe O'Neill, because O'Neill has moved from centre, and the very new Aiden. I think this is his first time to the World Championship.
Well, they've both got the bib on at the moment.
Oh yes, they do.
Yeah, this that happened a few times in World Mile because they've got 2 sets of bibs. You'll see the bib change, and you think there's a change coming, but then there's not. I don't know if maybe the goal shooter's just taken his bib off in protest, but then will actually put it on and get on the court. I've seen that happen a few times this week. Oh no, it doesn't. Yeah, no, that's exactly what's happening.
Yes, he took off his bib in frustration.
And it happens in every team. I think this week has probably had that where someone's unhappy with what's being said on the bench, so they whip their bib off as if they're never going to play again, but then actually they end up playing.
So far there are no changes on court for both teams. Royal Mail Strikers taking the center pass to the wing attack, looking, waited patiently to the goal shooter. Another
and that will
contact
not
there.
help the goal shooter's head at all.
And Worsey was a little bit frustrated with the calls that were made against him earlier. So something like that is going to certainly affect him and affect his play. Navigators just finding it a little bit difficult to get the ball inside the circle. Just some fancy play there. Not even moving his foot.
Passes.
Yes, because he's not moving his leg to get any closer. But I guess it's an attempt to get the defender out of his way.
Yeah.
So good seal there. The goal shooter needs to tidy up those contacts inside the circle, so that it doesn't cause any more, turnovers in the Royal Mail Strikers team. So shooter to shooter there, excellent stance. So some dramatics there from the goal defense,
ignored
but
by the
it didn't
umpire
work out
occasion.
this time by umpire Dalton. Royal Mail Strikers, that's 2 goals to none for the last quarter of this match.
I think at this point, 7 goals in it, it's definitely a lot can change. There's a good battle going on in the circle there between the keeper and the shooter. And the keeper is not giving him an inch. I think you see a big difference in the 2 circles in defence, in that the World Mail defensive partnership of Arton and Kareem clearly play together, or have played together a lot before. I know we've seen them here for the last 2 years, and they've played this weekend together. But they work as more of a pair. They switch players and they roll around together. Whereas actually in the Navigators circle, there's clearly a mission there for Dane, the goalkeeper, to focus just on Nias, the goal shooter. His job is to take him out, and the goal defence's job is to track Kurt, which is easier said than done.
Yes, because the goal attack is a little bit timid of taking a shot, so he's playing out the ball, probably in an attempt to just get a little bit closer to the shooting.
The Navigators goal attack or the World Mail goal attack?
The Royal Mail goal attack.
Yes.
He's not taking his shot. He's playing out the ball, but he's not changing the legs to get any closer to that post. So a deflection there, which caused the ball to go out of bound, and O'Neill there looking for a long swing to the goal attack to the wing attack. The wing attack comes up, a pass off there to the goal shooter. As we said to you before, the goal attack there just a little bit timid of shooting, but he's an excellent shooter, so I'm not sure why he's being timid of shooting. Good effort there from the center of Navigator, was unsuccessful. Royal Mail Strikers remained possession of the ball. Wing attack there was late and kind of goalkeeper now being called for contact.
Missed shot.
Missed shot there from Nias. But that looked also a little bit steppish there from the goalkeeper. Umpire, good strong there from the goalkeeper Kareem. And he's just on his toes bouncing, and he's just looking.
It's well read. Fantastic play from the goal defense.
Excellent steal there. Excellent backup there from the wing defense to keep the ball in court.
The Navigator's waiting for a held ball call there, which wasn't coming.
But what the goal shooter did was to feint the pass a little bit, and then by the time he turned around, he was too close. So excellent drop there
Good shot.
and a good finish there from the goal shooter. So just a little bit over 5 minutes of play left, and it's 31-29, and they've gone back up to that 9-goal lead as they originally started this quarter. Good strong there from Nias inside the circle. He takes the shot and he shoots.
Keeper looks quite unhappy. I think there's been lots of, as there has been in every battle, I must say, pretty much, bar a couple. There's been lots of back and forth, and then lots of talking off the ball.
Excellent shooter pass there. He steps
Very
up and he
nice.
shoots.
In a very congested circle, he's done well to get that ball through.
He remains so calm and collective throughout all
O'Neal.
that was going on.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Yes, good elevation there from the goal shooter.
And that's the prime example of what we see. We want for Dane, he needs to stop him being able to set up for that, because both the centre and the wing attack have good ball placement. The goal shooter has fantastic elevation. So if once he gets to the point where he's set up in that position, they can make a good pass and Nias can jump for it and get it. So he needs to make sure that he's disrupting that movement before it happens.
What I find though is that sometimes, and I've just seen it now, and I've seen it yesterday. Sometimes when the ball is being shot, the goal shooter is holding up his two hands, and the new rule says that that's an obstruction from the goal shooter.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing it being called by the umpires.
Oh, an out of court called against goal shooter there, which I think he thought was going to be a contact. I think the problem that Navigators are maybe having is that the goal attack is a mid-court player, and so there's some maybe slight maybe lack of understanding of the positional awareness.
Navigators just find it difficult to just. Great touch there by the Navigators player, by the Royal Mail Strikers player. Navigators found it very hard to get the ball inside the circle. Good touch there.
Oh, very good work from the wing
Yes,
defence.
very good work.
And I think we're seeing now Navigators having difficulty because the goal attack doesn't want to shoot. But there, he takes one and he scores it. A bit of a look from the goal attack to the goalkeeper there.
Like he's saying, what are you trying, man?
Yeah, and I think there's lots of talking going on in the circle when the ball isn't down there between the teams, and that's starting to have an effect.
Contact there from the.
Oh, is it contact? Okay.
Yes, contact there from the center.
But
great
given away.
pickup. Great pickup there from the.
Good take, well caught.
Yes, I mean they
Dramatic.
Yes, very dramatic, and they took a long time to realize that the wing attack was free in the pocket, but eventually they waited patiently and they were able to execute that. So great take there from the goal attack, Kurt. Just playing that more patiently.
Oh, it's unlucky.
Yes, contact there from the
Had
goalkeeper.
his arm hooked. Oh, it's unlucky as well.
Good layup there from the goal shooter, from the goal attack Kurt. So it's now 35-25 with just over a minute of play left. Navigators unable to come back into this game. So it is safe to say that the Royal Mail Strikers will be taking this final game of the day. So a
Late
playoff
whistle there.
Yes, and they waited patiently as if they knew the umpire was going to make that call. The center went offside. Goal attack there. attempts his shot, he misses, but goal attack is there. Unable to just keep the ball inside. Ball going down the line very swiftly. Just 25 seconds of play left, and they're just playing out the ball, not making an attempt to score any goals. Just want to waste the time until the final whistle is blown. So no attempt in advancing the ball, and the Navigators team is not attacking the ball. So
Bit of a strange end to the game there.
So the goal attack should have just taken that shot. Should have just turned around and taken the shot, because clearly the time would have been up anytime soon. So after 40 minutes of play, 35-25 in favor of Romeo Strikers, a 10-goal lead. What do you make of this game?
Yeah, I think interesting going into tomorrow for the finals. I think what is really good to see is that all the teams are in together now, shaking hands, doing 3 cheers, which I think is important because the teams, and see there's 2 centres hugging. There's a contest on the court, but it's all love off the court. So I think that's quite important. I think, obviously now World Mail have the favourable draw on paper. I think they'll be playing Tennessee, who finished 4th, and Navigators have a tough game against Elbasan, which will definitely be very physical. Both teams enjoy a physical game. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. I think World Mail will find that important. A 10-goal win, it's not a small win, it's a bit like it's a significant win. So I think it'll be interesting to see how that affects what happens going forward, I suppose.
And then who would you select to be the player of the match for today in this game?
For me, I think it has to be maybe Arton, the goal defence. Either him or the goalkeeper. I think Nias gets a lot of attention for what he does with his elevation and his shots, which is totally justified. But actually on that occasion, I think the big things that won it for them was the turnovers in the defensive end, and Arton and Kareem were instrumental in that. I would say for me, for the pickups on the ground as well as the overall odds, I'd say Arton. For yourself?
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
That is my player of the match too. So I think he played really well today. As I said, he didn't allow any ball to just go unnoticed. He went after every single ball. He dug after every single ball, and most times he was successful in getting those balls. So he was very instrumental on the Royal Mail Strikers team today with that success that they got. So very good play. Tomorrow, as you mentioned, the 4 teams in the semi-finals, clearly not Royal Mail Strikers ending on the most points because they would have lost any match. Navigators in second, Elbasan in third, and T-Cats in fourth.
Yeah. So first will play 4th, World Mail and Tennessee. Second will play 3rd, Elbasan and Navigators, and then from there the 2 losers will play each other for 3rd and 4th. The winners will play each other for 1st and 2nd. So all to play for tomorrow, I suppose. This is a win for World Mail, but it doesn't count for anything going into tomorrow. They could lose their games and they'll be down in 4th. So yeah, exciting. Please do join us tomorrow. We'll be streaming again. But for now, thank you very much and good night.
Yes, have a good one.